Hi boys and girls, so last week we went over a bunch of different methods to create a value scale. Now just a little refresher, a value scale is how dark to light something goes. Values are each color that fall in between that value scale. So we practiced 4 different types, and so next we are going to flip our paper over and we are going to refresh our memories on this, and then we're going to show you how to create forms, a 3-dimensional shape using values. That is what the difference between a circle and a sphere is, or a cone and basically a triangle. So up here we can practice whatever kind of method you'd like to use for these. I suggest using blending just because that's what we're going to be using for our project. So the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. So you can go ahead and practice your value scale. Now remember, the more pressure is how you achieve that color. You can add layers and layers and layers. You don't want to add so many layers that you're ripping your paper or you start to get that metallic-y look. But you're going to use your finger to blend when you get all that color. So I'm going to go kind of quick. I'll speed this up. So remember, you're going to take your finger and push that graphite around. If you needed to add another layer, fill in any of those white gaps. So this is going to be your darkest, and you're going to gradually get lighter. Okay, so we're going to start with kind of the more simple ones for our turning shapes into forms. So the easiest, I would say, would be either a pyramid or a cube. So let's start with the pyramid. So since it's already drawn out, one side is going to be lighter than the other. So it depends on which way your light source is coming. So if your light source is coming from this way, this side of your pyramid is going to be lighter. This would be a medium, and then the back side of your triangle would be the darkest. But you don't see the darkest, so don't even worry about it. So this is where your light is shining first. So this is going to be your lightest value, this side of your pyramid. So I'm layering a little bit, just so when I blend, I don't see the lines as much. Okay, that's my light side. So this is going to be a medium, so somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to change my pressure a little bit. And blend. I can clean up with my eraser if I need to. Okay. So there's not much of a value difference, so I'm going to kind of make this one darker. That way you can really see the difference. There you go. Easy as that. So with the cube, depending on where your light source is coming from, now this one has a shadow, this example down here. You can add the shadow if you'd like, but you have to think about where the light source is coming from. If the light is hitting on this side, your shadow is going to fall behind it. If it's coming from this way, it's going to fall this way. So this one's kind of showing it as if the light source is coming from this direction. So here's, I guess, the lightest, because it's probably coming downward like that instead of this. So it's hitting there, and that's what's causing the shadow. So if you want to practice that, you can. So this would be your lightest. You could even leave it if you really wanted to. This would be your medium. I'm just going to go quick. This would be your darkest. Now you don't have to practice the blending, you could practice the other techniques if you wanted to, too. So we're going to save this one for last so we can go on to these ones. These ones you're going to treat very similar because they're rounded. So the way it actually is going to go is the center is going to be the lightest. Then as you go out, it's going to get darker and darker. It's going to be a gradient. Okay, so I kind of just split mine up. Kind of split mine up just so you could see that this chunk is going to be the lightest, so it's going to go medium and dark. So I'm not even going to touch my spot that's the lightest. So here is my medium. It's going to be on either side of the lightest. You're going to have to blend them in together so they kind of look more seamless. So this is going to be the same as the other side, the medium. Blend them a little. Then this is going to be the darkest, so you're going to make it kind of fade into each other. It's going to start to look like it's rounded. Okay. So start to feather them into each other. Blend. See how it's light, medium, dark? Now do it for this side. So here's your medium. This is where your dark's going to go. Blend them into each other. Shouldn't really be able to tell where one starts and where one ends. So now it's starting to look like it's got form. You can do the same for the cone, but I'm going to skip that just for the sake of time. And let's do our sphere. So our sphere, if you look at this one, the light source is coming right onto this part and causing this to be the lightest. And as you get away from that shine, it gets darker and darker. So to kind of split that up, I'm going to make them into circles. So here's where my lightest area is. I'm going to make a ring around it. We'll do kind of like 3. Okay, just so you can see. So lightest, light, medium, darkest. So I'm not going to touch the light one. You really don't want those pencil lines in there, but like those circle lines. But just for the sake of showing you how, you kind of need them there. So this is your lightest. This is going to be your medium. Then that crescent moon is going to be your darkest. blend after.
Get rid of that really harsh circle line and fade them into each other. You're feeling really confident, you can add the shadow. Get rid of that line. It's harsh.
Layers, layers, layers. And there you go. You have shown value to create form. And that is it, boys and girls. So close up your packets and put it somewhere safe. And next week we will start on our projects. See you then.